screen.
Okay, so thank you very much for the invitation, and I hope that this year will be better than the last year. So it's a joint work with a bunch of people. It and so I will begin with very some. Yeah, I will just begin with very short introduction about problem I want to consider. Okay, and then I will go back to presenting the classical, the reversible metabolic recipe, and see how, in fact, this classical recipe can be extended to have a new non-reversible recipe. Okay. So just for the notation and to introduce, we want to I consider target distribution pi on some measurable space Z0, and so I want to get a sample which have approximate distribution pi. And okay, I want, because I don't have so much imagination, to consider the metropolis testing algorithm. Okay, and it's okay. It's quite very common used now classical recipe to, in fact, get to create a Markov chain which are reversible with respect to pi, and so you are ensured that pi is invariant. And so I will not, and okay, so but has been shown in some other work in that's okay, reversibility cannot be cannot be optimal, okay, and so you can create, okay, you can modify a little bit classical reversible metropolis testing algorithm, but it's not in a generic way, to create non-reversible Markov kernel, and which exhibits favorable convergence properties. And so what we try to do in this work, okay, with my co-author, is to, in fact, because okay, you have now plenty of non-reversible MCMC algorithm somehow, but okay, when you try to see how the author check that the algorithm is indeed creates a Markov chain for which pi is invariant, okay, it's kind of a case by case basis. And what we try to with my co-author is to have somehow a more general construction, okay, just a very sufficient and necessary condition, such that okay, if you apply some recipe, okay, which is what we call a generalized metropolis testing algorithm recipe, you end up with a non-reversible Markov chain. And also compared to our main contribution is that okay, you can see that most in fact in all the existing algorithms we are aware of can be casted in this framework. And in addition, and we were able, in fact, in this paper, but I would not have the time to really introduce you the new non-reversible algorithm, which have quite success in some application. So I will not I will not have time to discuss about simple convergence criteria, okay, because okay, for the classical metropolis testing algorithm, okay, there are somehow very well-known results to ensure that okay, the Markov chain satisfies, for example, law of large number or convergence in total variation distance. And okay, we were able to adapt these classical results to the generalized recipe we introduced. Okay, so that's the main contribution in words. Okay, very short, quickly, and so let's go let's give some details about our construction. So before, in fact, to introduce our general recipe, in fact, I want to introduce you the classical reversible metropolis testing recipe. because in fact it's our idea will come as usual, in fact, from this setting. Yeah, and so we just somehow we reinterpret this kind of the proof of Tierney to which give in fact the necessary insufficient condition for a metropolis kind Markov kernel. So pi is and so that's the Markov kernel, the corresponding Markov kernel is pi reversible. Okay. So first, what is the metropolis testing algorithm? So first, I will give so it creates a Markov chain as follows, and it is based on initial states z0, a proposal kernel Q, and an acceptance probability alpha, which is just a function from z squared to 0, 1. And so it creates a Markov chain zk as follows. So at stage k plus 1, you sample a proposal yk plus 1 according to Q zk. And then you will accept these candidates, and so set zk plus 1 equals yk plus 1 with probability alpha zk yk plus 1. And otherwise, you don't move, you stay at the previous states, and so set zk plus 1 equals zk. Yeah. So here you can note that I don't take any condition on q and alpha, because for the moment, I don't want to consider. So the main purpose of this section will, in fact, to give a necessary and sufficient condition to on q and alpha, in particular on alpha given q, so that in fact the Markov chain zk is associated with a Markov kernel for which pi is reversible. So just a very concrete example. So the Rohn-Ohlmol metropolis testing algorithm. So in this case, the proposal kernel is simply associated with a symmetric density phi, and so in this case q z0a is simply the integral over a of p z1 minus z0 dz1. For the acceptance probability, I take the famous the minimum of 1 and the ratio pz1, pz2, p0. And in this case, so the proposal is simply, in this case, in this setting, yk plus 1 is a small perturbation of the current states, where gk plus 1 is a random variables independent from the past with distribution phi. So it's I think most of you have already seen this algorithm. But I will but people in fact now create very fancy new MCMC algorithm. And so to check in fact reversibility, we need to go a little deeper in the theory, and we need to assume we cannot in general assume that Q has a density. So to give some intuition, I will assume that Q admits a density, but in fact I want to consider very general Markov proposal. So if you do some calculation, it is not very hard to see that the zk is indeed a Markov chain, and so here I go back to the general setting where I consider alpha and q completely general, and so zk is associated with the Markov kernel p, which has the following expression. So here the first part corresponds to the absolute continuous part of the Markov chain. So where in fact you accept the proposal which are sampled according to Q, and the second one, where you can see that there is a Dirac masses corresponds to the reject steps. So you don't move. You reject the proposal. And so as I mentioned previously, so in a very famous paper, Tierney, in fact, in 1998, give a very general condition and which are sufficient and necessary on alpha and q, and given q, in fact, implying that pi is reversible with respect that p is reversible with respect to pi. So here I give you in fact what I want. What is reversibility? Okay, we say that p is reversible with respect to pi. Okay, if only if for any function f and g. Okay, the integral of over z square of f z 0 gz1 pi dz0 pz0 dz1 is equal to the same quantity, but you replace in fact the order of z0 and z1. Okay. So in a probabilistic language, okay, we can give in fact several interpretation of this condition. So the first one in a probability language says that okay, if you start your Markov chain as stationarity, okay, z0 is sample according to pi. And Z1 is the first step of Markov chain. So if I consider now the couple, the Z0, Z1, so it has the same distribution that the couple Z1, Z0. Okay? That's the first interpretation of reversibility. Another one, okay, is in a theoretical, in a measure theoretical language. So here I, okay, which says that okay, now if I consider the measure okay pdz0 pz0 dz1 is equal to the measure on the extended set space z square pdz1 pdz1 z0. Yeah, I will give some detail more after, in fact, because it will be the core of the proof, but okay. So in the case where P is and pi admits the common dominating measure mu, okay, and have a density okay, pi and small p, then okay, the reversibility condition is very simple, okay, and it just means that okay, we need to check that for mu almost all z1, then p z0 pz0 pz1 is equal to pz1 pz1 z0. Okay. So, but in general, okay, the Metropolis testing algorithm does not admit density, a common dominating measure with a target distribution pi, okay, because of the direct masses. And except of course in the discrete setting. Okay, if okay the state space Z is discrete, okay, everything can be written according with respect to the quantic measure, but otherwise okay you are stuck. So we need to work a little more. Okay, so let's first consider the easy case as I mentioned previously. The case where this time okay the proposal kernel Q and the target distribution have a common dominating measure mu. Okay, and then by small q and pi is our density. And for the moment, I assume that these two functions okay, are positive over Z. Then okay, I can rewrite the Markov kernel P associated with the Metropolis testing algorithm as follow. Okay, I just replace Q by the fact that I use that Q admits a density. Okay, to write this expression. And now, okay, I will introduce, I really focus now on the absolute continuous parts of P, okay, which now are denoted by Q alpha, okay, so which corresponds to the first part, the acceptance part of the Metropolis testing kernel, okay, so I can write PZ0A, okay, as Q alpha, okay, which as we will see is a kernel, plus a direct measure times the constant. And so Q alpha is a kernel, okay, which corresponds, as I said, to the absolute continuous part, which is okay some Markovian kernel, meaning that Q alpha is a kernel, but Q alpha z0 z is strictly smaller than 1 in general. And what I want to consider this absolutely continuous part, it's, in fact, okay, it admits transition density with respect to mu and this time. Okay, compared to P, okay, Q alpha, okay, while it is not the Markov kernel, it is just a sum Markovian kernel. This time, okay, in the setting where bit Q admits and pi admits a common dominating measure, Q alpha admits a transition density Q alpha, okay, which is given by, okay, the product of alpha and Q. So now, okay, if you do very quickly the calculation, you can see that, okay, now the metropolis, a very simple condition, so that the metropolis algorithm P is reversible with respect to pi, is that in fact Q alpha is reversible, okay, with respect to pi, okay, meaning that in fact in the case where you have a density, it just means that okay, you have the same expression, okay, but this time for the transition, you replace the transition density of P by the transition density of Q alpha. Okay? And in this case, yeah, replacing the expression of Q alpha by the one I gave you before, you end up that's okay, a necessary and sufficient condition on alpha for P to be reversible is okay the one in red, okay, and you begin already to see the form of the acceptance ratio you are used to see in the case of in the case where the proposal and the target emits a density with respect to a common distribution. Indeed, in fact, so you can see that okay, this condition is satisfied if in the case where alpha z0 z1 is a function a, okay, of the ratio pz1 qz1 z0 p over pz0 qz0 z1, where a is a function which satisfies a0 equals 0 and t times a1 over t is equals to t, to at, for any t in r plus minus 0. So some example of function which satisfies this condition is, for example, the minimum of 1 and t, okay, which in fact leads to the classical metropolis-Hastings ratio. Okay? But another one which is less known, okay, but okay for people which are used to MCMC, it's quite intriguing, is the case where it is equals to t divided by 1 plus t. Okay, it satisfies also the condition that a0 equals 0 and 0 is 1. And so it leads to what is referred to as the Baker ratio. Now, yeah, the two questions we have addressed in this paper is the following: that first, what about the case where Q and pi do not have a common dominating measure? Okay, in particular, why we want to consider this kind of setting? That's in fact many recent metropolis-Hastings algorithms are based on some deterministic move. Okay, you mix in fact deterministic move and random move. Okay, and so in this case, the proposal kernel does not admit in general a density with respect to a dominating measure, to the same dominating measure than pi. Okay, so you are stuck. And also that since you don't have you don't have density here, in fact, to end up with my condition before, okay, with my form of my acceptance ratio, I use that okay, pi and q are positive to make some sense on my expression. And so if I don't have density this time, I cannot even define properly, in fact, this ratio. Okay, so the main idea, in fact, introduced by Kearney, and what we try to interpret is to, in fact, construct a measure, okay, such that a symmetric common dominating measure for the measure which appear in the reversibility condition. So I will give you some detail after and give you, in fact, the intuition behind the construction of this mysterious symmetric common dominating measure. So first, I give you another interpretation of reversibility. So if I consider, and now I consider Markov kernel P and target distribution pi, I consider the measure nu tilde pi P over Z square, defined by the following expression for any A and B. And reversibility of P with respect to pi means that, in fact, this distribution is equal to the reverse, let's call it reverse for symmetric distribution nu PS, okay, which should correspond exactly, nu PS of A times B is corresponding exactly to nu P tilde B times A. Okay, in fact, you exchange the order of A and B. Okay, and so you can see that based on this observation, nu PS tilde is simply the push forward measure of nu tilde P by the application which from Z0 Z1 gives Z1 Z0. Okay, so the reversibility condition just mean in fact that these two distributions of Z square are equal. So that's another interpretation. So now, as I said to you before, so reversibility of P for the Metropolis testing algorithm is equivalent to reversibility of Q alpha. Okay. And now, so reversibility for Q alpha means, with this new interpretation, means in fact the equality between the two measures on the state space Z square, the extended state space, where nu tilde alpha and nu tilde S alpha are the same as previously. You just replace P by Q alpha, and you obtain the same condition, and you say the same observation. And in fact, nu tilde S alpha is a push forward measure of nu tilde alpha by the same application than before. Where in fact you exchange the role of Z0 and Z1. So we want to give, in fact, so now we are given Q, and we want, in fact, to end up with necessary and sufficient condition on alpha, so that Q alpha is reversible with respect to pi. And so the first observation is, in fact, the two measures I introduced you just before, so nu alpha and nu alpha S. In fact, admits the density. The two admits some densities, and the same densities, which is in fact the acceptance ratio alpha, with respect to the probability measure nu q and nu qs, which are exactly the same as for nu p, but you just replace p by q, and as previously, nu qs is simply the push forward measure of nu q by the same application by before, and that's it. So I made these two observations. So now, what I can I want in fact to give you some intuition on these two probability distribution and why in fact they are quite important. In fact, in the case where Q and pi admit a common dominating measure, so in this case, you can write, you have that nu tilde Q and nu tilde SQ admits density with respect to mu square as well, And in this case, in fact, you can see that you can check that the corresponding density are equal to PZ0, QZ0, Z1, for nu tilde Q, and for the other one, it's the same, but you exchange the role of Z1 and Z0 because in fact it's simply a push forward measure by the application, where you exchange Z0 and Z1. And so, since in fact reversibility for Q alpha is corresponding to equality of nu alpha and nu alpha s, you can see that in fact you alpha need to enforce reversibility with respect to P for Q, okay? And you can see that, okay, maybe in fact nu tilde Q, in fact in general nu tilde Q is different from nu tilde QS, okay? But alpha, in fact introducing alpha enforce the reversibility for Q alpha, in fact. And in fact, what we recognize here, okay, if now I denote by HQ and HQS the density of nu tilde Q and nu tilde QS with respect to mu square, okay, I recognize that in fact the ratio which appear is my acceptance probability alpha, okay, correspond exactly to the ratio of the density of nu tilde Q and nu tilde QS with respect to mu square. Okay. So in fact, what we can it's tell us that okay, these two distributions in fact are the right tools to consider to try to extend the reversibility condition for metropolis testing algorithm. In the case, okay, you don't have a common dominating measure. Okay? So that's just what I show you just before, just right there. Okay, I just said that. Okay, I recognize that really the ratio is the ratio of the density, and also the condition that we had before on pi and q, which are positive, in fact, tell us that you have events that's okay, a common dominating measure for nu tilde q and nu tilde qs, but they are also in fact equivalent. Yeah. And you can see exactly the density of nu tilde qs with respect to nu tilde q is exactly in fact the ratio of the density of the two with respect to mu. Yeah. Okay, so the two questions now we want to address is that okay, what can be said about what condition on alpha to ensure that P is reversible with respect to pi? Okay, can we find somehow in fact, and we have seen that okay, the right tool is to see if nu tilde q and nu tilde qs admits some common dominating measure. And also is the equivalence condition for these two measures is very necessary to end up with proper acceptance probability for the metropolis testing algorithm.
Alain?
Yes.
Yes. You kind of running out of time, I think. Yeah, you have like 5 to 10 more minutes.
Okay.
I don't know. I see that you have still a lot of slides, so I think it was better to warn you.
Okay. I will be short. I will skip. In fact, I had a lot of figure, but okay. Don't worry.
As you want.
Okay. So now, okay. So for the general case. So what we now consider that the right answer for the common limiting measure for nu tilde q and nu tilde qs is that you consider in fact the sum of the two, and of course in fact nu tilde q and the symmetric parts are absolutely continuous with respect to the sum. Okay, and so I can consider in fact the density of nu tilde q and the symmetric part with respect to lambda tilde. Okay, so as I said before, you can see quite quickly that okay, the density of the symmetric part is the density, but okay, you exchange the role of z1 and z0. And now, okay, what you the first question we address, okay, we have addressed the first question. Now, okay, is the condition that nu tilde q and the symmetric part is equivalent very necessary? And in fact, it is not really necessary based on the following result of Tierney. In fact, it is because what you can see is that if you consider the restriction of nu to AQ, okay, where AQ is the set of where HQ and HQS are positive, then in fact the restriction of nu tilde and the symmetric part are equivalent, okay, and that's really what matters in fact for the reversibility of the metropy testing algorithm. And okay, the restriction on the complements are mutually exchangeable. Okay, but for the moment, it's really some technical results you don't really care. But the first result is very important. In fact, that's okay. The restriction on AQ of nu and nu tilde s are equivalent. So since in fact they are equivalent, okay, what you and in fact it is equivalent, and you can even in fact exhibits a density of nu tilde A with respect to nu tilde S, okay? It is simply RQ, which is the density, which is a ratio of the density of nu tilde Q with respect to lambda tilde Q, and nu tilde SQ with respect to lambda tilde Q. So here you can see that RQ Z0 Z1 really corresponds to the ratio I showed you before in the case where you have a common dominating measure. But here you just restrict, in fact, the ratio where it makes some sense, okay, where the two functions are positive, in fact. And so, okay, based on this technical results, okay, but it is very necessary to introduce, in fact, this density RQ. Okay, so Tierney gives sufficient and necessary conditions so that Q alpha is pi reversible. It is pi reversible if and only if, in fact, alpha is 0 on the complement of AQ. Okay? And otherwise, in fact, alpha satisfies alpha Z0, Z1, RQ Z0, Z1 equals alpha Z0, Z1, Z0. Okay? So, since I'm one out of time, okay. So here, in fact, you can recover quite, and so just to conclude quickly this part. So now, if I consider alpha, which equals to A of 1 over RQ Z0 Z1, okay, and where HQ Z0 Z1 is different from 0 and 1 otherwise, okay, you can check that for this one of alpha, okay, you are ensured that Q alpha is reversible with respect to pi, and so at the end, you end up with a proper metropy testing algorithm which targets the distribution pi. Okay. So that's the formal result of Tierney and the Y consequence. And so the main result, one of our main results is okay to extend this result to a non-reversible part. So I will keep a lot of motivation, okay, about non-reversible testing algorithm, because okay, and so go directly to a quick introduction to non-reversible to the non-reversible Markov chain, and give you the general recipe. But in fact, since I already introduced all the tools, in fact, to give you the general recipe. So in fact, it is based on definition of PS reversibility introduced in a paper of Andrea and Livingstone. And what means in fact this condition? In fact, this definition based on an involution small s, okay, so meaning that okay, S composed with S is equal to the identity. And I consider based on this involution the Markov kernel big S, which is a completely deterministic Markov kernel, which is simply the direct measure SZ A. Okay. And so now, okay, based with this notation, I can define okay that P is pi S reversible if only if okay this condition is satisfied. Okay, for so here you can see that if S is the identity, you recover exactly the reversibility condition. Okay. And so here you really consider an extension of reversibility. Okay. And in particular, what it is necessary at the end, of course, is that okay, the push-forward measure of pi by s is pi, because okay, because with this condition, we are unsure that if you marginalize with respect to z1, you are unsure that in fact pi is invariant for p, because we want that the target distribution is invariant for pi. Okay, so very common, very simple example, okay, which in fact encompass many known examples, is the following involution, where in fact you work on an extending state space and you consider from x v gives x minus v, okay, and mu is the tensorial product of the target distribution and some symmetric distribution for v. So we assume this condition in force, and for S equals the identity, as I said before, you recover the classical reversibility condition. So now I consider the general Metropolis-Hastings algorithm, which works as follows. Okay, so here it's exactly as, in fact, the classical Metropolis-Hastings algorithm, but here, when I reject the move, okay, I don't stay at the same space. I just, in fact, apply my next move, zk plus 1 is equal to s of zk. Yeah? That's the only difference with the classical Metropolis-Hastings algorithm. And so here, what I want, as before, is to give, in fact, given q, give a sufficient and necessary condition on alpha, so that at the end, okay, this algorithm has pi as an invariant distribution. So as before, okay, you can see that, so I can write the Hastings Metropolis kernel, okay, here it's exactly the same thing as before, but okay, you replace in the direct measure z0 by s of z0, and you can check that, okay, p is pi s reversible if only if q alpha is pi s reversible, okay, meaning, okay, the condition I gave you before, you just replace p by q alpha. And so, as before, we give sufficient condition on Q alpha to be pi s reversible. And so for that, in fact, you consider, okay, the same the same measure as before, mu tilde Q, okay, but this time you don't consider the symmetric part where you action Z0, Z1, okay. You consider, okay, mu QS, which is a push-forward measure of mu Q, by the application which from Z0, Z1 gives S of Z1 as Z0. Okay. And we need, so in fact, if we introduce this new measure, okay, we can generalize, in fact, quite easily the result of Tierney. Okay. So that's in fact particular restriction of these two, of mu q and mu qs, are equivalent, and based, okay, on these technical results, similarly we can give sufficient and necessary condition so that the general Metropolis-Hastings kernel admit pi as an invariance measure. Okay, so here are the extension of the proposition of Tierney. So in fact, you can see that it is exactly as the result of Tierney, as showed you before. Just you replace, okay, HQS, okay, by HQ composed with f of s, okay. But in the case where s is the identity, is exactly as the previous proposition I showed before. And in this case, okay, on AQ, okay, the restriction on AQ of nu tilde and nu tilde s are equivalent, and okay, all on the complements they are mutually singular. So on AQ, you can it makes sense, okay, to consider RQ, which are the ratio of the density of nu tilde Q and nu tilde QS with respect to their sum. And then, okay, this function, this ratio, is in fact a version of the density of the restriction of nu tilde with respect to the restriction of nu tilde S. Okay. And okay, based on this density, we can give in fact a sufficient and necessary condition on alpha, so that Q alpha is pi s reversible. Okay, so the first condition is the same, okay, as the Tierney's results. That's meaning that alpha is 0 nu tilde Q almost every bar on the complement of a Q. And the second condition is a little different, okay, otherwise it is not funny. So the second one is that alpha z0 z1 rq z0 z1 is equal to alpha s, so it will be z1 z0, okay, not z prime z0. So here, in fact, you can see that okay, you have really a generalization of the classical, in fact, metropolyasting the result of Tierney. Just in fact, you introduce S where to get, in fact, to enforce reversibility in this case. So what does it mean, in fact, for a practical algorithm? Okay. For a practical algorithm, it means that in this case, a right choice for the acceptance probability is alpha z0 z1 is equals to a function a, okay, which satisfies the condition I give you before. The ratio of HQ composed with Fs z0 z1 divided by HQ z0 z1. Yeah. And so just to conclude, in the case where you have that pi and q admit some density with respect to mu, okay? So in this case, you can compute that HQ z0 z1 is equals, okay, as you expect, as pi z0 q z0 z1, okay? And so you can compute HQ composed with Fs, and so we end up, yeah, with the following generalized metropolyasting acceptance ratio, okay, where in fact it's really look as the classical acceptance, the classical metropolyasting ratio, but okay, in the numerator you just introduce S in the function in the numerator. Okay, so I think I will conclude on this result, and thank you for your attention.
Thanks a lot, Alain. So, is there any questions? We have time for like a 2-minute question if you need. I might have a question. So I think at the beginning you said that the fact that you impose reversibility might lead to recipes that would be less efficient, and that relaxing this would be a bit more efficient.
Yeah.
I'm not totally sure on why, and could you a bit explain that? Or maybe I missed.
Yeah, so in fact I had a lot of motivation I needed to skip.
This was okay. Sorry, this is because I rushed you.
No, so in fact, to be completely honest, okay, so it's really it's a matter of perspective, of objective. So because, for example, if you consider for pi for p just to be pi, okay, so you directly sample from the target distribution, so it's a reversible algorithm. So, and you cannot do better somehow.
Yeah.
Okay. But in fact, what it has been shown, in fact, in the literature is the following: is that you can begin with some reversible metropolyasting algorithm. You just change a little bit the algorithm, and you end up with a non-reversible algorithm. Okay? And you can show, okay, in terms of asymptotic variance or in terms of convergence rates, that these non-reversible algorithms are better compared to the reversible compared to the reversible counterpart. Okay.
Okay.
So here I give you, in fact, some simulation. Okay, so where I run, in fact, what is called a nice algorithm. It's a nice algorithm, okay, which is a very fancy HMC, a very fancy extension of HMC, okay, where you use Of course, a neural network to learn your proposal. So for the reversible parts, you can see that you don't mix that well, okay? Because in fact you have a phenomenon of backtracking, okay? Because you have a random walk behavior, okay? And so so in the middle figure you can see that you have a non-reversible counterpart of nice. So here you can see that okay, the non-reversibility in fact ensures that since you once you have found a privileged direction, okay, you always go in this direction, which is very nice as you can see on the simulation. But otherwise, okay, you can end up with non-reversible algorithm which cannot be that efficient as well. Okay, which is the third example I give you to be completely honest, where in fact you have still some random walk behavior. So it really depends, and so that's why we wanted to give you some general way to build to construct a non-reversible Markov chain, but okay, it's not unsure at the end. So sometimes you can ensure, but it's not always the case.
Okay, so it's still an open question, but there are some empirical evidence showing that it's probably possible to make it more efficient.
Yes, exactly. So even in fact even for Langevin, okay, it's not that clear for the reversible or non-reversible Langevin. Better.
Okay.
Not clear.